don't try too much. Rolly's going to give you everything you want. So kind of just going to let the fight come to me, and then I'm going to take over. I'm a better fighter all around. So I feel like
if there's one fight that has had fans buzzing, it's the build-up to the Ryan Garcia versus Romero matchup. From the moment the fight was announced, everyone knew these two fighters would bring excitement, not just in the ring, but also with their mental game leading up to the fight. And of course, they weren't disappointed.
Tremendous fighter. He's a tremendous fighter. The only people he cannot beat happens to be myself, Gervonta Davis, and depression.
In their recent face-to-face meeting, Ryan has been doing everything he can to intimidate Rolly. According to Ryan, this is one of the easiest fights he could have taken, and from the very beginning, he's been confident that someone will be going to sleep.
That's Ryan Garcia, because it's a quick wrap trap type left hook. So you got
eyes on you the most to prove. What's your prediction? What's going to happen May 2nd?
I put Rolly to sleep with a left hook. That's it. That's what you're going to see. Period.
Ryan Garcia is at a crucial moment in his career. Once considered boxing's next big star, he now has to prove himself all over again. His fight with Devin Haney ended in controversy, which we all know about, and now Ryan says he's back with a fresh mindset. He's ready to focus entirely on boxing and leave all distractions behind. He even tweeted an apology to Ryan, saying that it's him who has to face the new, focused Ryan in the ring.
They can do some damage. And Ryan Garcia, look, he's coming off, it's going to be about a year now. He's hungry. He's hungry to get on top. He's hungry.
At the press conference, Ryan Garcia made it clear that he's not here for trash talk or drama this time. He's keeping things professional, stating that this fight is all about earning back respect. In the past, Garcia was known for his social media antics, interviews, and constant back and forth with other fighters. But now, he insists that version of him is in the past. His promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, also talked about this change. He believes Garcia is making the right moves by training under a strict coach and surrounding himself with the right people. De La Hoya says this will help Garcia stay disciplined and focused on what really matters.
throw the right hand and go under it.
And now Haney.
See? Yeah, you want to know? You're fighting me, right? Yeah. And I'm right here. Yeah. See how you drop? See how you drop? So it goes like this. Here.
Ryan Garcia has made it clear that his upcoming fight against Romero is all about one thing, his left hook. This powerful punch, which has been a key factor in his career, is now the focus of his strategy. Ryan isn't shy about showcasing it. To prove just how difficult it is to avoid, he recently demonstrated his left hook's power to former British super middleweight contender Rocky Fielding, showing that it can land from any angle and at any range.
I don't, because right now, this is Ryan Garcia.
What's the game plan to beat Ryan Garcia?
I already got a game plan. Yeah, so...
Are you talking about it in sparring?
Yeah.
How many years ago was that?
8.
And you think that's relevant to this fight? You think you learned something back then you can take forward to this fight?
Nah, I wasn't really trying to learn that day.
Ryan has perfected his left hook since he was a child, and it's the same punch that secured his victory against Devin Haney. When he fought Haney, Devin did everything he could to neutralize Ryan's left hook by closing the distance. But Ryan adapted, landing quick, powerful left hooks that changed the momentum of the fight in the later rounds. Now Ryan faces a new challenge in Romero Ranjans, who will have to figure out how to survive Ryan's dangerous left hook. However, it seems Rolly doesn't have a solid game plan in place to counter this threat.
In the ground. Aggressive, get
Riley is known for his aggressive style, where he pushes forward and tries to overwhelm his opponents with constant pressure. However, this is exactly the type of fighter who falls right into Ryan's biggest strength. If Riley hasn't made significant improvements to his defense and chin, this fight could end quickly. Ryan doesn't plan to drag this out. He knows that the faster he wins, the higher his value rises in the boxing world. According to Ryan, he has studied Riley closely and is confident that Riley still makes the same mistakes he made in sparring, which is something Ryan plans to capitalize on.
Henry, how do you see this fight playing out? Do you think it goes a distance, Rolly and your son?
I don't see it right now because the way Ryan is, when he's focused, look what happens to his opponent. You know, I mean, he does drop him. he does drop him. So when he's focused like this, he's very dangerous.
Ryan's father and trainer, Henry Garcia, has made it clear that fans will see a better and sharper version of Ryan in this fight. He believes Ryan's speed and power have reached a new level, making his left hook even more dangerous. However, Henry also hinted that Ryan's strategy might not just rely on the left hook. He might surprise everyone by finishing Raleigh with a right hand instead. But at the end of the day, Ryan's go-to punch is still the left hook. If Raleigh can't handle it, the fight will likely end early. According to Henry Garcia, Raleigh is definitely going down.
Big left hand by Garcia. Left hand early. Garcia said he's
Only going up to 147. There's many possibilities. There's the possibility of him having a better chin, which I'm not sure if he's going to have a better chin. There's probably the possibility of him being faster, stronger at 147. But him moving up to 147, the only thing I think that he's really going to get is him having a better chin, because at 140, he was getting hurt multiple times. His last fight, he didn't get hurt. He's a little bit, if I'm being honest, going to be a little bit more fresher than Ryan Garcia, because
Ryan Garcia understands the stakes of this fight. He's not just fighting Rolly Romero, he's fighting for his reputation, his career, and his place among boxing's elite. After the controversy surrounding his last fight with Devin Haney, Ryan needs a dominant win to earn back the respect of fans and the boxing world. A brutal knockout over Raleigh would send a clear message that Ryan Garcia is still one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. However, the fans know this won't be an easy fight for Ryan, especially with Raleigh moving up in weight.
Ryan Garcia. There's the jab from
Hopefully for the sake of Rolly, he pulled it off, but it's going to be a good fight. No? You think? Huh?
Someone's gonna get knocked out.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody get knocked out.
Who hit a little harder though? Was it Ryan or was it Rolly? Because they both clearly.
I ain't gonna lie, Rolly hit hard. Yeah. They people be sleeping on Rolly because he been obviously, I don't know how to say it, obviously, but yeah, if he don't got no chin now, so Rolly be getting caught, but Rolly can hit, bro. Like, he can hit. But he's the only person I felt like when he swung, it felt like bricks was in hood. It felt like it's really like.
Even Tank Davis himself doesn't believe Ryan Garcia is the bigger puncher in his upcoming fight against Rolly Romero. Speaking to Fight Hype, Davis said that Rolly actually hits harder than Ryan. Having fought both men, Tank described Rolly's punches as feeling like bricks in his gloves and warned people not to underestimate his power. Despite Rolly's heavy hands, Davis still knocked him out in the 6th round back in May 2022, exposing Rolly's weak chin and showing that power alone isn't enough if a fighter can't take punches in return. However, when it comes to Ryan, things might be a little different. Davis assures fans that Rolly could potentially turn the tables.
Now that Menard shot though came at the end of the 10th round.
With Devin don't have no power.
Ultimately, what do you feel puts you over the line against Ryan in this fight?
I know him really well.
Is it something similar that because Ryan knew Devin so well, he knew how to fight him? Is that like the mirror with this fight, that you know Ryan so well that you know what to throw at him?
There's no fear with Devin. Devin don't have no power. And then also, I mean, you want to come in all that extra weight, overweight, so, I mean, that makes a big difference. You know, there's still a lot of controversy going on with that fight. Aside from that, Devin was winning damn near every round that he didn't get dropped. Even the rounds he got dropped, he was winning the rounds he just got dropped.
On the other hand, there's Rolly Romero. Despite not being fazed by Ryan Garcia's game plan, he actually seems pretty calm amid all the hype. He has no issue with the fact that Turki Alik has already set up a Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney rematch for October. Rolly doesn't feel disrespected or overlooked because, in his mind, it won't matter. He believes he's going to take Ryan out on May 2nd, and if Ryan still goes ahead with a rematch against Haney after that, it will just show that the whole setup is about business, not competition. If Garcia loses badly, how does a rematch with Haney still make sense? That's not how boxing should work, but in today's world, money talks louder than rankings or results. Besides, Rolly himself believes that after he drops Garcia, Haney will have an easier time doing the same.
He does have that Tank Davis. Devin Haney on the
Ryan, obviously the boxing world, they just want the Haney rematch so it can be settled once and for all. What is your message? Obviously, you guys are going through the lawsuit right now, but if you and Devin can run it back again, under what terms would it be?
Run it back the same way. Just
little higher weight class.
The way Turkey League has organized this event makes it clear that entertainment is the main focus. It doesn't matter if the fighters win or lose, as long as the event creates buzz. A rematch between Haney and Garcia, even if both are coming off losses, might not look professional, but that's not how Turkey approaches the sport. His goal is to create the biggest possible fights, even if they don't follow a logical path. This is the same reason Terence Crawford is moving up 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo Alvarez. It's not about rankings or natural progression, it's about the spectacle. Fans might complain, but as long as the fighters are walking away with huge paychecks, they won't argue.
Devin Haney has been worried about. Got him again. I need to take the better chance.
And beat his ass.
Is that the biggest rematch of 2025? Haney Garcia? Biggest fight?
I don't think so, because I believe that Devin Haney is a shot fighter.
However, Raleigh continues to claim that he doesn't care about what happens after his fight with Garcia. He says they can go ahead with their rematch, but he plans to make sure Ryan enters it after taking serious damage. Raleigh believes Haney has already been humbled, and now it's Ryan's turn. But for someone who says he's not interested in a fight with Haney, Raleigh's words don't quite add up. If he beats Garcia and someone offers him a big payday to fight Haney next, there's no way he'd turn it down to fight a lesser-known opponent for less money. His dismissive attitude could just be a way to downplay his own desire for that big opportunity.
Okay, I see him pulling back.
He's going to be the key for Devin this fight.
I still think Devin Haney can beat Ryan Garcia.
Oh, yeah. I do.
Don't fight that type of style. Don't stand right in front of him.
Yeah.
Do your Devin Haney, and get out of there.
And that's what you do with rematches. You find everything you did wrong. You know it instantly after the fight's over. You come back and you right those wrongs. I do believe that it's a rematch that he will win. I think we talked about this time and time again. I think it's a rematch that both guys really need to have.
Reality is, Ryan Garcia understands his value in this situation. If he wins, he should be rewarded with something bigger than just another spot on the undercard. The problem is, boxing doesn't always play out fairly. If Ryan is already lined up for a rematch with Haney, then Raleigh beating him might not change anything for him. He could still end up on the sidelines while Ryan and Haney continue with their plans. That's the part that doesn't sit well. If boxing is going to be treated like entertainment, the winners should at least get the opportunities they deserve. With all the talk about the Haney versus Garcia rematch, that's the fight fans are eagerly waiting for.
There's a right hand for Haney. Garcia's a reactive puncher. He just
in the head.
Rolly, he just said he's looking past you to fight Devin Haney. Does this concern you at all?
I think Devin should get the fight again.
But he said he's not even worried about you. He's not even thinking about you. He's looking forward to that fight. You're just going to be a bump in the road.
He can think whatever he wants. He knows me too well.
How easy is it going to be? How long will Rolly last with you?
What makes things even more complicated is that Raleigh isn't seen as a long-term star in the division. If he beats Ryan, it would be a huge upset. But would people really want to see him fight Haney? Probably not. That's why even if he wins, there's a chance Raleigh will still be overlooked in favor of Garcia. This wouldn't be the first time boxing politics have worked against a fighter who pulled off an unexpected victory. If the money and interest are still behind a Garcia versus Haney fight, Raleigh could end up as just a footnote in their rivalry. In fact, he might be the biggest reason Ryan is overlooking him.
Luke Campbell got in the body his opponent and landed the cleaner shot.
you can't teach.
Bring on Rolly. You know, he's part of PBC. We already ran it once with PBC. I need to get my get back. I'm going to beat Rolly, and we're going to have that.
Of course, everything depends on what happens on May 2nd. If Ryan Garcia has truly improved and dominates Raleigh, then a rematch with Haney will make perfect sense. But if Raleigh pulls off an upset, the fight business will show its true nature once again. Regardless of how it all plays out, one thing is clear. This fight isn't just about boxing, it's about power, influence, and who gets to control the biggest moments in the sport.
Power like that, you can't teach me.
9 power punches landed around.
Ryan Garcia, Oscar Duarte, 140. What do you think about that fight?
Ryan Garcia by murder. It's gonna be Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia's gonna murder him. Like, yeah, that fight, like everybody trying to hype up this Duarte dude.
Sergio Mora believes the fight between Ryan Garcia and Rolando Raleigh Romero won't last long. Both fighters have serious power, but their defensive weaknesses make it unlikely the match will go past the halfway mark. Mora doesn't see a clear favorite because both men have been hurt in the past. Ryan hasn't faced a true power puncher since his fight with Oscar Duarte in late 2023, and Raleigh has struggled against fighters who can take his power and fight back. Their styles set the stage for an explosive fight, where one big mistake could end the night. However, even before the Duarte fight, Raleigh knew Garcia would win, so he believes Raleigh won't be surprised when they get in the ring together.
For Garcia, he's got to be measured though, Sergio. He knows to tell you.
Without the issues that he had, the PEDs thing, whether it was true or not. So not only does he have to clean his image, he has to kind of convince people that he's still a power-punching, fast, popular fighter that can do it on the big stage. And he's in there against a fighter that's going to give him all the opportunities. And Romero comes to knock people out. You know, he has some holes in his defense. I think it's going to be a short, explosive fight where either of them could get hurt. Because Garcia's vulnerable defensively as well.
Ryan says 4 rounds, and he's out.
There you go, see? I was going to say 5, but yeah, man.
I've been hearing 4 and 5 from a lot of fans, either way, whether it's Rolly or
that fight doesn't go into the second half. Too much firepower, you know, too much defensive flaws as well from both these guys. So yeah, man, I think it ends under 5.
Mora sees this fight as a chance for Ryan Garcia to show he's still one of the best, despite all the drama surrounding him after his last fight with Haney ended in controversy due to a positive test. Ryan has been working hard to repair his image, and the best way for him to do that is by delivering a strong, dominant performance against Raleigh. Mora points out that Raleigh's aggressive fighting style will give Garcia plenty of opportunities, as he leaves openings in his defense. This is the perfect setup for Ryan's left hook, a punch that has already proven to be dangerous against top-level opponents.
He's got to be measured though, Sergio. He knows to tell you the truth.
It's kind of smart, you know, that's right there. But then it's a solid match. Those are Rolly and Ryan's an interesting fight because Rolly's hit or miss, bro. Rolly sometimes looks like where'd you find this guy off the corner, but sometimes he performs. There's a sparring session with Ryan and Rolly on YouTube where it looks like Rolly's doing pretty well in there. I'm curious about that fight. Rolly's back against the wall. He's got to perform. Everybody's curious about Ryan coming back. You got Devin Haney on the undercard against Ramirez. He's in court with Ryan. What happens if they cross paths at the weigh-in, even though they're not fighting each other? You know, like solid card.
Raleigh won't be an easy opponent, though. While he's known for being reckless, his power makes him a threat in every exchange. If Ryan makes even the slightest mistake, Raleigh has the ability to hurt him badly. That's why Mora believes this fight will be over quickly. Both fighters are explosive, and neither has the kind of defense needed to avoid getting hit clean. In fights like this, one mistake can change everything. And that's exactly what other professionals are noticing, too.
Those punches are back. I got both of them. All right, let's go. Then he's going to be at a disadvantage.
You got the best left. The best left in the world.
Mora agrees with Garcia's prediction that the fight will end quickly. Ryan has said he plans to knock out Raleigh by the 4th round, and while Mora initially thought it might go 5 rounds, he now believes it won't last longer than 6. The power on display in this fight is just too much for it to go any further. The only fight on the card that Mora thinks will go the distance is Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barbosa Jr., which he says will be a close one. But for every other fight, he expects knockouts, especially for Ryan. This fight isn't just about winning for Garcia. It's about making a statement. He needs to remind fans why he was once considered one of boxing's most exciting young fighters. With his fresh new look and revamped training camp, fans are starting to worry that Ryan might be just too much for Raleigh.
Fight, you know, me and Ryan sparred way back when, you know, we sparred twice, and there's always, it's gonna be, I mean, that fight will sell out. I know that fight will sell out. That's one of those mega fights that me and Ryan, that's a fight I'm definitely interested in. It's a beautiful fight, you know, it's gonna be great. I'm excited.
Ryan Garcia needs to show that his power is real, that his speed is still on point, and that he deserves to be at the top of the division. On the other hand, Raleigh sees this fight as his chance to shake up the boxing world. He knows he's not the favorite to win, but he thrives on being counted out and loves proving people wrong.
I've seen, and it's incredible.
One for the ages. Again, I think it's a pick'em fight because both guys really have something to prove.
While Romero believes this will be a big fight, Oscar De La Hoya thinks it will be a much quicker one. De La Hoya is confident that Ryan Garcia will knock out Raleigh when they face off after a year-long break from the ring. He views this fight as just a warm-up for bigger challenges ahead. According to De La Hoya, Romero is nothing more than a stepping stone, a way for Garcia to shake off the rust before a potential rematch with Devin Haney. However, De La Hoya adds a twist. He doesn't think that rematch will ever happen. In his view, Haney's so-called glass jaw won't hold up against Jose Ramirez in the co-main event of the May 2nd card.
Garcia.
Devin the villain. Can you please talk about that?
Because I always was a villain, but then I was like the good guy, villain. But I always wanted to be the villain anyways, because it's easier being the villain, and it pays being the villain, so I'm okay with being the villain.
De La Hoya knows exactly what a vulnerable chin looks like, especially after seeing Garcia dominate Haney last April. He has no doubt that Haney is mentally and physically vulnerable. According to De La Hoya, Haney took such a beating in that fight that both he and his father, Bill Haney, have practically disappeared from the public eye. To De La Hoya, this is clear evidence that Haney hasn't fully recovered from the fight. That's why he believes Ramirez is the perfect opponent to expose Haney once again. If Ramirez does what De La Hoya expects, the highly anticipated Garcia-Haney rematch will no longer even be a topic of discussion.
Harvey Dock's got his one back, trying to hide behind that left hook.
Well, I'm more focused on facing the best version of Devin Haney, and I seen the best version of Devin Haney. I seen him fight, many times, and now I'm obviously studying him very closely, and I think he does a lot of mistakes. Regardless of the Ryan Garcia fight, I think he does some mistakes that I feel like I could definitely take advantage of comes May 2nd.
Despite recognizing Raleigh's ability to promote himself, De La Hoya doesn't see him as a real threat to Garcia. While he acknowledges that Romero knows how to market himself and secure big fights, he makes it clear that Raleigh's main strength is in promotion, not in winning fights. Even though Romero has been knocked out before, he somehow always manages to find a way into the spotlight. And that's exactly why he's facing Ryan Garcia now. However, De La Hoya believes that none of this will matter when Garcia lands his clean punches. He's expecting a knockout and is confident that Raleigh won't be able to handle it. What do you think? Do you believe Raleigh has a chance against Garcia? And do you think Devin will survive against Ramirez? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.